to tell a friend. I want to get to these last two real quick. All right, look. Have you guys noticed like the mass exodus from the black church? Have you guys been seeing that?
Yes, I have.
To
It's
make sure we're on the
remarkable.
same
It's
page.
remarkable.
So many people, especially men. Very few masculine men in these black churches. So my question is, will subscribing back to the church help fix the black America?
Nope.
Will
No.
subscribing back to the church help fix black America? Because to Chief's point, at one point it was Democrat, Christian, and electric slide. And I think most of us still say we Christian in some shape or form. But that community in the church, did that make a difference on several different factors in our communities?
Nope.
It was allowed to be used. I think when black people went to church and took and created church as a god, basically, that's what we did. It morphed into that. And that's how it was be able to be used for political purposes. You know, you had a candidate come to church, you already know that you won the vote. So it was weaponized against us. I don't think that if black folks resubscribed going back to the church that would help black America. Absolutely not. Not this version of Christianity. No. The true version, yes. But this westernized version, absolutely not. And you know how I am anyway. I'm expanded consciousness Christian. I don't subscribe to hey, we already had this conversation. But I think that if we rethought Christianity, when you say the church, I'm going to assume you mean Christianity, the Christian church, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So I think if
Look, well,
it
yeah.
what
Go ahead. I'm just thinking.
or religion, like I mean, if you're saying religion, that's something different. I just want to make sure I'm talking about.
Yeah, look, we can stay with church. That's fine.
Okay, so I don't think it would help fix Black America. And it created a lot of robots and sheep. We just got them calling people sheep, and that was a part of it. Like it created a manufactured sheep as well, and that is to our detriment. If it was reconfigured and went back to its origins, true origins, and allowed us to be critical thinkers and expanded consciousness, then yes, it would help fix Black America. But the way it has been, the way it is now, nope.
The downfall of the black church came when they started preaching about prosperity.
Break that down.
So they started preaching about prosperity in the church. And basically they were trying to say that if you give to your pastor, then you're going to receive tenfold in whatever it is your desires are. And so these preachers were wearing the gold, chains. They was flying in the jets. They was doing all this stuff. And so, of course, when it comes to politics is really about money. Who can raise the most? That's when they got involved. And at that point, the downfall of the Black church was when they started preaching about prosperity. Even Creflo Dollar in the Dollar Dome had to come back around and recently say that he made a mistake by preaching that stuff.
Who are you talking about? Tides.
Yes, and that was part of his thing. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but when he would not allow anybody to put any loose chains in there. You had to go to the ATM. You had to put bills in there. There are things that he was doing and then got investigated and all of this other stuff, where at that point, once they started preaching that stuff and became about money, there was no longer about people actually volunteering and giving yourself in the spirit. It was all about in the spirit of money so that you can multiply whatever it is that you needed. And that was the downfall.
I want to go back even further, back in slavery times, when they were teaching from the slavery Bible, and a lot of those same principles about being meek and humble and turn the other cheek, like there were certain principles that they taught out of that Bible back in the church in the 1800s. So I'm even going back before prosperity gospel happened. Church has been weaponized against Black folks for centuries. Is all I'm gonna say.
But tithing is warranted though.
I'm not
right?
talking about tithing right now. I'm talking about turning the other cheek all the time. and talking about slaves be good to your masters. Like, no, going back to that far, I'm talking about. So if
You're
you're
talking
talking about
about
prosperity preaching, you're
Christianity.
talking about Rotunda. You're talking about with tithing. You referring to her
Mm.
topic?
Well, no, I'm just saying. You're saying that. Well, I don't understand. So, you're saying that what they taught us, they were taught it teaching in the new churches also.
They still are.
You
Yeah,
said, no, I'm saying so. What they were teaching back in the 1800s, they were teaching still today.
absolutely. There's a lot of things they're still teaching us today that they're teaching back in 1800s from the slavery Bible. Yes.
So yeah, so I mean, she's talking about like the role of Christianity and like violence around the world. Like Christianity is one of the most violent religions in the history of the world. If you think about, erasure and destruction and what they've used in the name of God to destroy people. Um, but to the question, I think no, no, because the church, black people have evolved. The church used to be the cornerstone of the black community. If you wanted to do politics, our leaders came from churches. If you wanted to do anything in the world, they came from churches. They were brilliant in churches, and churches were an economic driver of black communities. But since then, to everybody, that's just spoke, it's changed, and it's become more about money and shame, and not really about bringing the community together. I know y'all don't really like him, but Dr. Umar said, if my religion says that I have to die in order to experience the heaven that the white man is receiving on earth, that's a religion I don't need. And I believe that's been the downfall of the black church.
Hmm.
Teaching us something that we can never receive. You're not uplifting us as a people, and you're just asking for money, but we're not seeing that pour back into the community.
Word. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, I was just gonna piggyback off of what Mike just said towards the end, and I fuck with Dr. Umar the long way, by the way. But yes, I agree with that sentiment there. That if you're not believing that you can have heaven on earth, then what do you really reach for when you wake up on a day to day? A lot of times you look at people who are of the Caucasian race and their levels of prosperity and the things that they have, and it's almost as if they've taken on our ways of understanding God and religion and gave us theirs in exchange, which is the bullshit. So you see them, they're doing everything that needs to be done. They speak to things, you know, uh, positive this and affirmations that. And I think what's happened with this exodus is that we are kind of returning back to that. So when you look at the church, I had to step back on my spiritual journey, and when I started to see things in the church, I saw it a little bit different. And one of the things I noticed is that church is almost like hospitals. The pastor's going to give you just enough for you to feel good, but enough to come back. So you're not really getting fed enough to keep yourself sustained and do something in your community. So I don't see no benefit to that. It's like, I'm going to tell you that God can take care of everything, but also put the fear of the devil in you so that you have a codependency. It's a weird thing. But I think that what's happened with a lot of us is we're coming under this new awakening. And that's where that exodus is coming from, in my opinion.
This final thought.
Just have a good night, everybody. I guess I'll see you next Tuesday.
Word. Mary.
We need to keep trying to build stronger Black families to help our Black little boys and girls.
Word. Ro.
The remedy to fix the Black community is to teach our children about the country that they live in and how to survive in it.
Word. Q.
I'm with a Black woman for real. My baby chocolate. Y'all be safe.
Word.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
my bad. Go ahead.
Nate's like, ha ha. I know that's right. Big up. My final thought is Black people open a book, read, educate yourself, understand politics, understand legislation, understand your people, understand who you are, understand where you came from so you can know where you're going. Just educate yourself. Education is so pivotal, so that you can break the shackles of your mind off.
Word. Mike.
We have everything we need as a community to succeed. We got Black colleges, Black banks, chambers of commerce, businesses, apps, politicians, and it's really just we need to start supporting each other and being unapologetically Black.
Word. Mr. White.
Let's continue to improve our communication with each other. Let's continue to show each other grace, because Black men are worth it, Black women are worth it, and together there's nothing we can't do.
Yeah, man. 100% agreed, man. I think all the sentiments tonight were valid because they a lot of people provided some substantive thought behind them, regardless if you agree or not. Right? I think entertainment is in disagreement, but at the end of the day, you still got to hear it. I think that's the key. Yeah. So I know Adrian touched on it, but I don't think the church is the answer. But if we can agree on a particular set of instructions, I think we would be much better off. I'll give you guys one gem. You could throw it out if you want to. If you go to Exodus 22, verse 16, sex is marriage. I wish I would have known that before I start busting all these chicks down. It's a lot of them too.
Shit like that. Shit
So,
like that. Shit like that.
Imagine
shit
how
like
much
that,
different
shit like
life would be if we all knew that and conducted ourselves in that way. You feel me? Just a little something. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.